Farm to Table is nothing new for home gardeners, but what is new is a book, Grow, Cook, Eat by Willi Galloway. And Willi's joining us today in the kitchen here, and she's going to share a tomato pasta recipe today from her new book. Hello. Thank you. So how do we get started here?
Yeah, so we are going to boil a short pasta. I like to use strozzapreti, which has kind of a cute corkscrew shape, but you can use any short pasta, penne, whatever you have on hand, bow ties. And I'm just going to salt the pasta water. That's important because if you don't have well-salted water, the pasta tastes kind of bland. So
kind of the opportunity to get the salt into the pasta.
Yeah, and you actually want the water as salty as seawater, so it should be pretty salty. So I'm going to put some salt in, and then we're just going to put the whole package of pasta in here. So it's 16 ounces of pasta. Get that into the water.
And this is going to feed how many people?
This will feed about 6 people.
Okay, that's great.
So we'll get the pasta going, and then we're going to make a super simple sauce.
Simple's good.
And the best part about this sauce is that you don't have to cook it, so it's really easy. And we have a 1/3 cup of olive oil, and we're going to whisk that together with some fresh lemon juice.
Okay.
And then we're just going to stir in some parsley, some basil.
Basil smells great.
Yeah, Parmesan cheese, some salt and pepper, and then a bunch of cherry tomatoes.
Okay.
And we'll let that sit and kind of, the flavors meld together while the pasta cooks.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay. So I'm just going to pour in the olive oil. And I like to use just a really flavorful Spanish olive oil.
Okay.
And then I've got, you want to use about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So since these lemons are kind of small, I'm going to use 2 of them.
Okay.
And just squeeze the lemon juice right into there.
So when you're getting all this ready, tell us a little bit about the book and what makes it different. It's not just a cookbook, it's not just a gardening book.
Yeah, well, so, I get a lot of questions about harvesting, and I really wanted to write a cookbook that helped people explore all the delicious food that's in their garden. And so I talk a lot about different stages of harvest. So when you can harvest beets, they don't just have to be big, huge beets. You can harvest little ones. And I just really wanted to help people explore.
Okay.
So that's kind of the idea behind the book. So there's growing information, and then there's cooking ideas, kind of quick ideas on how to use basil. For instance, I really like to crush basil with white grape juice. You just kind of muddle it together, and it makes a really nice, delicious, alcohol-free cocktail.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of the idea behind the book.
So we're going to add a little zest now, too?
Yes. Just a little bit of lemon zest here from 1 lemon. And I like to use these microplanes. They're great.
They are, but they are sharp.
Yes, you have to be careful. You don't want to zest your fingers. So we just need about a teaspoon of lemon zest.
Okay, and then the herbs are going to go in next?
Yes, so I've got a 1/4 cup each Italian parsley. So I like to use the flat leaf parsley.
Okay.
And then we've got
the
basil.
Fresh basil.
Yeah, oh, it smells so good.
The star ingredient in my opinion.
So stick that in there. We want a good grind of pepper. So, a few good grinds there.
All right.
Can't have too much pepper in my opinion. And a big pinch of salt. And then we've got a cup of finely grated Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
Stick that in. And I'm going to just stir that all together, and then we'll add in the tomatoes. And
then we just let it marinate?
Yeah, we just let it kind of hang out, stir in the tomatoes, and the flavors will meld together while we boil the pasta, because the pasta takes about 10 minutes to boil.
Okay, so we'll come back after this is marinated and the pasta's cooked.
Yes.
All right, the pasta's al dente. What's next?
So we're going to pour the hot pasta, it's still steaming, right on top of the tomatoes, if you want to help me kind of pull it out there. And we're just going to let the pasta sit on top of the tomatoes, kind of like a cap. And the heat from the pasta will help soften up the tomatoes. You want to leave it on for about 90 seconds, 2 minutes.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're ready for the finishing touches to serve.
Yes, so we're just going to stir up. It stirred up, and it's the beautiful, colorful tomatoes come up. And this is just, such a nice dish to make with all these end-of-season tomatoes that are, it's kind of the last of the tomatoes until next year right now in gardens and markets.
And it's simple and it's healthy.
Yeah, so simple, so healthy. And if you wanted more tomatoes, you could reduce the amount of pasta for the tomato pasta ratio.
Okay.
So just give it a good stir. And then the final finishing touch is you can put some red pepper flakes on. They're optional, but I think it gives it a nice, just a little bit of zip.
Little kick, I like that.
Yeah, and then serve it up. And it tastes good warm, of course, but you can also serve it at room temperature, and it's even good the next day cold.
All right.
And if there's only 4 of you, there will definitely be leftovers.
Let me get a little bit extra cheese on there too.
Yeah, of course. That always makes everything taste good. A little extra cheese.
Simple, healthy, smells great. I love that.
Yeah.
So if people want more information about your book or your blog?
Yeah, they can go to my blog, which is DigginFood.com, and it's just DIGGINfood.com.
All right, let's dig in, Willi.
Okay.